So today we're going to be working on kind of a little postcard here from the coast of Italy. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to check our metadata. So we're going to find that under File Info, and we're going to actually copyright this. So go ahead under the left-hand column, make sure you're under Basic. Go ahead, change your copyright status from unknown to copyrighted, and go ahead and title this up here at the very top, document title, Amalfi Coast. I'm typing it in all caps. And then you can go ahead and for our author title, go ahead and put your name there. And then once you've got in there, go ahead and click OK. Now the metadata is data that is hidden. It's embedded within the actual photograph file. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to set this document up in the appropriate color mode for if we were going to print it. So that can be found, our color modes are under our image menu. So we're going to go image mode, and currently it's in Photoshop's native language. This is what we typically use when we're creating something for the web or something native to Photoshop. So for this one, we're going to actually change it as though we're going to set it up for print. So CMYK is our default color mode for print. You also see we have grayscale in here too. Go ahead and put that on CMYK and go ahead and say don't merge to that. So don't merge that. Okay, now at this point, what we're going to do is we are actually going to go to our background layer. We're going to unlock our background layer by clicking on the little lock, and we are going to flip our picture because it's actually backwards now. So we're going to flip it so that it is viewed in the correct way. So to do that, we're going to go Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. And this will get our little village of houses on the right side of our image. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do there is we see that there are some torn spots in our photograph. So we're going to repair those. And to do that, we're going to use our spot healing brush tool. Now our spot healing brush tool, as you all remember, it looks like a little band-aid with the dots. So go ahead and grab that. Remember, if you're unsure of what the name of a tool is, you can hover over top of it and the name will pop up and remind you which tool it is. So we're going to grab the spot healing brush tool, and I actually just hit it, my mouse was a crosshair. I just hit the caps lock and it changed to the circle, which I personally prefer. And then I'm just going to click and drag on my background layer to use that healing spot brush tool to take away the imperfections in the photograph. Okay, pretty perfect. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the bird flying in the sky because we don't need that this time. So in order to do that, we're going to use the content aware fill. And to do that, that's going to be found under our edit menu. But first we're going to select that irregular bird in the sky with our lasso tool. So our lasso tool can be found 3 tools down. Click and hold down. I'm going to grab a hold of that and do a loose lasso, loose irregular selection around that bird. And then you're going to go edit, fill, and you're going to get your fill dialog box to pop up, and you're going to select in this drop down menu, if it's not already there for you, content aware fill. Then go ahead and click OK, and there we go, perfection. And now we're going to deselect. Now the long way to deselect is select, deselect, or you can do Command D as in dog, or Control D if you're on a PC. Okay, so we're done pretty good now. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to go to our text layer, our Amalfi coast layer. So we're going to go ahead and select that. I'm not going to change the name here, but I am going to select it by clicking on the T in the layer thumbnail, and if I double click on that, it will automatically select the text for me. Now what we're going to do is we are going to change our font, and we are going to then align it. So we are going to change our font to Arial Black Regular. So this is a pretty standard font. And when you are searching for a font, you're always going to be looking in alphabetical order. Now you're going to see always at the top some that you've used most recently are going to be there, but otherwise all your fonts are going to be in alphabetical order. So we're going to use this one, Arial Black Regular. So go ahead and select that, and then hit the check mark on the top. Now we see that our text is kind of running off our photograph, and what we want to do next is we are going to perfectly center it and align it within the canvas. To do that, we're going to select our Move tool, our first tool in our tool panel, and then up here in our options bar, we've got all our alignment tools, but we have an even better menu if we go to the three little dots here and click and hold down. Now we have two choices here. We can do centered in the selection or the canvas, and for this project we want it to be centered in the canvas, so make sure that this one here is on canvas, and then you are going to align it both horizontally and vertically in the center of the canvas. So go ahead and click on both of those, and you will see your text perfectly adjust to the center of your photograph. Okay, next up, we are going to be creating a shape behind our text. So in order to do that, we will be using the rectangle tool. All of our shape tools can be found down here. Just so happens that the rectangle tool is the first one up. If you click and hold down, you can see the other tools, and the custom shape tool is here as well. So once you select the rectangular tool, what you're going to do is you're going to click one time. And when you click one time on your photograph, it's going to pull up your dialog box, which will allow you to put your preferred size in. So we're going to put in 3,500 pixels for the width, and we're going to type in 350 pixels for the height. So it's going to be kind of like a banner going across it. And then right here we're going to put 15 in. Now mine's already at 15, but when you put 15 in for one, if you do have this on, it will put that for all the corners. And this is going to give the corners a curved angle by 15 pixels. So it's going to just round them a little bit. You don't have to do this all the time, but for this one we're going to do it. You're probably not actually going to see it on this one because it is going to run off the page, but just so you know, that is what we're doing. And we're going to do it from the center. Okay, so go ahead and click that. When you do that, you're going to get your black bar that runs across. So we're going to grab the Move tool and just go ahead and move that box. Well, first of all, I guess we should grab our layer and pull our rectangle one layer underneath our Amalfi coast layer. And then you can go ahead and grab that box and pull it down. So it should be perfectly centered there. And if you want to, you can actually go back to our alignment and just hit these two buttons, and that will give you some practice just perfectly aligning and perfectly centering things. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to change the color of our block that we just made. So we are going to go ahead and double click on the layer thumbnail for that, which is going to bring up our color picker box. And then down here, because we're going to use a specific color, we're going to be typing in a specific hex code down here. So you're going to type in 14363F, and that's going to give us a color sampled from the water. Okay, again, it's 14363F. And then go ahead and click OK. Anytime you're given a hex code, that is where you put it to get that exact color across different computers. Go ahead and click OK. And now the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to open the Styles panel and apply the C style. So any panels that you can't see open over here can be found under your window menu. So if we go Window, Styles, it's going to open up, and if we hover over top, it will tell us what the name of each style is. So here we see our C style, so we're going to go ahead and click on that, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to make sure our opacity is at 100. And we are then going to set our fill to 0, and we are going to change our blending mode to multiply. Okay, so again, we have our opacity 100, our fill is on 0, and our blending mode is on multiply. And now what we are going to do is we are going to go back to our text layer. We're going to select our text, and we're going to alter our spacing. If you want to, you can go ahead and close out the Styles panel for now. So now we're going to open our character panel because we are going to adjust our tracking. So if you go to Window, Character, you're going to pull up your character panel. And the ones that are off that we need to know and we use all the time in our character panel are the following, which is our leading, which is the spacing between lines of text, our tracking for our spacing between a group of characters, and our kerning, which is between two characters. Okay, so today the one we're going to change is going to be this one. So we're going to change our tracking to 200. And hit return, and when you do that, you're going to see that the text spaces out. So after you adjust the spacing, go ahead and hit the check mark at the top to commit your change, and we're going to then center that text within our canvas. So you're on the move tool, double check to make sure you're on the move tool, and then you're going to go to the 3 dots and do your 2 center alignments once again. Okay, so we're pretty much ready to kind of wrap this up a little bit, but we are going to create a group, and so we are going to actually select our text layer and our rectangle 1 layer, and you can do this by holding down Shift or Command on the Mac, and Control, of course, if you're on the PC. So I have these 2 layers highlighted, and I have my background not selected. So with these 2 layers highlighted, I am then going to create a group. So you can create a group right here in this little menu, New Group from Layers. Or you could also hit this little button down here that looks like a folder. And you could right click also, but I'm going to actually go here and do New Group from Layers. And I'm going to name this group Amalfi Banner. And then I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And now I have my text and all parts of my banner inside this group, this folder, and then I have my background. So it's kind of all organized. So at this point, we are finished. We're going to flatten, save it, and turn it in. So we're going to do layer, flatten image, and file, save as.